And welcome. We're doing another survival and preparedness training video. This is video number 4 or 5. Hard to keep track. One of the things that came up, gets discussed from time to time, is changing mags, and do you retain mags? Do you drop your mags? You know, all that good stuff. We're going to talk about a little of that. Show some various examples of that and that as well too. Focusing primarily this time on pistol stuff. First and foremost, we want to make sure that both the camera person and the people watching see this. We're using empty mags. Okay, the gun is empty. Is that clear?
Yep.
Okay, and we didn't bring our red gun down here today, though. However, so this gun is empty. Okay, and it is important, I feel, to do some training with live weapons that are empty from time to time. I've known a lot of people who have taken a lot of classes, who have been law enforcement officers, different things like that, that when you do that to them, they literally just freak out. You know, and not in a good way freak out. I don't mean freak out like, you know, rush you, take your gun type of freak out, but like, oh my God, you know, type of thing. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. Once you've progressed in your training a little bit to around people you know and trust, okay, big caveat right there, to be able to work after everybody has seen that the gun is dry, that you can work around and point the gun and move the gun around other people. And it might even be just moving it around where they move in front of you and you keep from sweeping them and whatnot. Okay. So again, this is the other reason we don't put these on standard YouTube thing, is because all the little safety Nazis would be wetting their pants right now. Oh my God, you never point a gun at somebody unless you intend to kill them. That's you know, Colonel, you know, Schwarzkopf's you know, rule number 3. Okay, shot themselves or things like that. So it's not that huge of a deal, just in your mind. Okay, so getting back to what we were talking about, mag changes and things like that. Again, never say never, never say always. You know, you essentially have two camps. The one camp says, I always retain my mags because my mags mean so much to me, and I paid, you know, $19.95 for this mag that's got the little G-lock symbol on it, and I can never lose that. Okay, and then you have the other school of thought that just goes, ditch that sucker, get another one in, get the gun up and moving, and don't worry about, you know, picking it up. What we need to find is we need to think of everything in context. Okay, what's the context? If the context is me and Abdullah here at this range, okay, this range, and my gun goes dead, okay, do I want to sit there and go, ooh, have to shave this mag because, you know, Joe Expert 4000 says you'll always retain your mags? Well, while I'm sitting here farting around to stick my mag in, Abdullah's either wrapping me upside my head with my own gun, or he's shanking me or shooting me or whatever else, okay? Now, we step back 50 yards. We step back 20 yards. We put me behind cover shooting at Abdullah, okay? Does the context change? Yes, it does, okay? Maybe in the context of you've engaged Abdullah, he's down, and you don't know what else is going on. You know, can you retain your mag then? Sure. The immediate threat is taken care of, okay? But right here, you know, up in Abdullah's face, and we're fighting for the gun, and we're putting rounds out or whatever we need to do, and we're working all this different stuff. If I start fumbling around and going, well, I always retain my mags, and, you know, Colonel Schwarzkopf 4000 says I always retain my mags, you're going to die over a damn $20 mag, and that's really stupid. That's really goes against what we're trying to do with all of this survival and preparedness stuff, right? You know, dying over a disposable item that you shouldn't give a crap. If you lose, that's stupid, okay? So again, in context, should you always retain mags, or should you always ditch your mags? Again, in context. 150 yards out, I have my rifle, whatever, I'm behind cover, you know, retain my mags, yes, if I can, okay? 5 feet away from Abdullah and I'm working rifle or pistol or whatever, and it's just all about real close distances and fast movements, retain my mags, no way in hell. Okay? If you win the fight, you can pick your mags up off the ground. That's the other way to think about it. And if you lose the fight, you're dead. You don't need your damn mags anyway, all right? The other thing is, mags are cheap, okay? Even Glock mags and things like that. These are, you know, 19 bucks now, okay? Most of us would blow 20 bucks and never think a damn thing about it, all right? So you throw $20 on the floor. You know, big deal in the overall scheme of how much would it be to replace my heart? What, a couple $100,000? How about a lung? What do those cost? Come on, medical guys, jump on the thread here. Tell us what these organs will run you. Tell them what you won, Bob. Because if you start thinking of everything in just a dollar context of, oh, I can't toss this on the ground because it was $20, that's bunk, that's garbage, okay? So again, never say never, never say always. Getting back to the context of it, because again, I'm afraid if we don't explain these things, then people get the wrong idea about stuff. And he said you always do, and he said you... No, I never said always, never said never. Okay. The general theme, and again, gun is still clear. Nothing ever happened. We might have to make this a two-parter. Gun is still clear.